Hi everyone and welcome to my channel. This is Influence Colorist, and today's video I'm going to be coloring in one of my new books for October that I got. This is Eerie Patisserie by Karla Magana. And I'm also, because I think this is going to be a pretty easy color, I'm also going to do the tag from Kirsty Color and Sketch, and it is the Would You Rather tag. So I'll be answering questions as I color along. We'll see how it goes because I'm not very good at coloring and talking at the same time. So there might be some kind of empty silence for a little bit while I color. Okay, so I'm going to be coloring this page right here, and I'm also going to be doing the same kind of chalk background that I've done in a couple of my last videos, except for this time I'm not doing a sky. I'm going to be doing these kind of streaky looks. So I went ahead and cut out, this is just from scrap piece of like cardstock, and I just cut some kind of wiggly lines in here, and I'm just going to kind of create this soft chalk pastel background using these streaks. So I'll go ahead and do that. And first I'm going to put down some paper in the back. I'm going to be using more of pinks and purples and a cotton ball. Alright, so I'm just going to lay this stencil down. And let's see. This one is going to kind of move more on me, but that's alright. It will still give me the effect that I'm going for, and I'm not going to stress too much if it gets into my shapes here, because eraser, any kind of eraser will help take that off. And I'm just going to slide that down to finish the bottom. Alright, so I'm going to do one color all the way across, and then I'll switch colors. And I can even turn this around if I want some of them to stop. I'm going to go right over the spider web. And because this paper is cut into small strips, it might give you a little hard time when you brush over it, so just hold it down good. These chalks are from Close to My Heart, but I went to their website. I haven't been on their website in a long time. I used to be a consultant for Close to My Heart, which is a scrapbooking company. But I don't believe they sell these chalks anymore. I couldn't find them, which is a bummer because they're really good. So I don't know if you would be able to find them under decorating chalks. Or what is also really similar to this are the Pebbles chalks, and you can find those on Amazon. they just work a little bit differently than like your blocks of chalk pastels, because you don't have to scrape away with a razor blade. You can just smudge your cotton ball inside there and pick up the color that way. All right, I'm done with the pink, so now I think I'm going to add a little bit of this lavender color in here. So I'm gonna do the same technique. I'm just moving this around so I get some of these empty spaces. There, all right, it gives it some nice texture and movement back there. So I am going to pause it here and then wash my hands and then take off some of this dust, and then I will start my coloring and answer those would you rather questions. All right, so now I'm going to take my electric eraser, if I still have any battery power to it. If not, I'll just be using a regular eraser. And I'm just going to, wherever I went into these shapes, I'm going to get rid of the chalk inside there. I feel like I just replaced these batteries, so I must use this thing a lot. All right, I'm not going to worry about inside the spider webs because I'll probably use maybe a Posca pen or some stickles. Okay, for coloring, I'm going to be using some Ohuhu markers and just the alcohol markers. So for that, I need to make sure I have some kind of protection underneath here. And I'll also be using some Prismacolor pencils towards the end. So I'm going to start off with the markers first. All right, maybe I'll zoom in here a little bit. All right, so I'll be using the Ohuhu markers, number 26 and 25 for the cake. All right, so let me answer a question here. So this is Would You Rather, and the tag was started by Kirsty Color and Sketch. And the first question is, would you rather color in the same coloring book for the rest of your life or use the same medium for the rest of your life? Well, I'm gonna have to say probably using the same medium, because I think I would get bored of the same book if I had to do it the rest of my life, which I'm not saying I wouldn't be bored with using the same medium, but I think there might be more variety in my life if I could choose different coloring books. So yeah, I'll say that. All right, so I'm just gonna outline and fill in. All right, number 2, would you rather color a page full of leaves or color a wallpaper style page? I'll probably say, oh gosh, that's a hard one because I don't have very many mandala coloring books, but then again, I probably have colored more of that style than I have like wallpaper style. I originally thought wallpaper style, but I'm going to change my mind and say the mandalas, because I don't know, I think the wallpaper style, maybe because it would fill up an entire page and that might get tiring. Like, I don't know, for some reason I get bored when it's like a really big page and I have to spend a lot of time on it. So I guess, I think I'm gonna switch it to the mandala. All right, I'm just gonna switch to this chisel tip to fill in these larger areas. And I was going for kind of a creamy looking sponge cake. I didn't have anything that was like pale yellow, so this has kind of a peachy orangey tint to it, which I guess fits with the Halloween theme. Maybe it's some kind of carrot spice cake or pumpkin spice cake. Okay, number 3, would you rather color fur or skin? And I'm gonna say skin. Fur, although skin you have to build up your colors too, but fur, there's too many sharp little strokes that you have to do, which I think that would be harder. All right, so now I'm going to take 25, just a little bit darker here, and I'm going to outline around the edges, making the bottom just a little bit darker. And I'm also going to outline underneath this frosting that's coming down, giving it a little bit of depth and shadow. And maybe I'll just touch on these little dots here. Kind of creating a bigger shadow down here on this corner. All right, and then I'm going to go back over with the chisel tip. I don't know if it will really blend on this paper or not, but we'll just get it a little more pigment around the edges. Hopefully it's blending. I don't know, this is the first page I've done in this book, and I'm not really a pro at using the alcohol markers, but they're fun. Okay, let's see, where am I? Would you rather, this is number 4, would you rather color a double page spread in Kirby Rosanes' book or a double page spread in Karla Markova book? So I think I'm familiar with Karla Markova, but I don't have any of her books. So, but I do have, let's see, like 4 of Kirby Rosanes' books. So I'm gonna have to say Kirby Rosanes. All right, next for the chocolate, I'm gonna do this as like chocolate frosting. So let's see, I'm gonna do 97 for the lightest part. 21 and 1, which is kind of a really deep red color, like burgundy color, but it reminds me of chocolate. So, okay, I'm going to start with the little highlights first, and that is going to be the 97. All right, let's see if I can answer another question here. Number 5, would you rather color grayscale or line art? I'm gonna say line art. And that's because, again, I don't have very many grayscale. The ones I have colored, I like the idea of it already having a shadow and highlight on there, because that is something I struggle with, is trying to figure out where my light source is and keeping it consistent. I want to just like add lights and shadows to every angle, I guess. So yeah, I guess, but then I think I'm more intimidated with the grayscale because I feel like the color is not as intense on there. So, and that's kind of part of the fun, is to have to do the highlights and the shadows. All right, so I'm gonna take this medium tone. This is 21, and I'm just gonna do this outside edge. All right, next question. Would you rather color a page by Mystic Art Mirrors or Christine Karron? I don't know. I'm gonna have to look those up because I don't have any of those books. So let me finish this section and then I will look them up to see what I would prefer. Okay, let's see. Okay, let's see. Sorry, the glare is going to be bad here. Okay, I think I've seen some of these before. And then let me see what the other one was. Oh, okay. And is this an Etsy artist? I think I'll probably say this one. So both are kind of similar. I mean, of the people, which I don't do a lot of people because that would be a lot of skin and hair, which I feel like I'm not the best at. Those are pretty. Okay, I'm gonna say this one. So Christine, I'm not sure how to pronounce the last name, Karen or Karron. All right, would you rather color in silence or color with background noise? Definitely background noise. I usually have a TV going, or lately my daughter has been practicing her dance in the room next door, and she's an Irish dancer, so I get to hear a lot of her Irish dancing, which is kind of loud. So that's been my background noise for the last 7 months. We had to build a dance floor in our family room here, so yeah, that's what I've been listening to. And when she's not dancing and I'm coloring, then it's usually the TV that's on. Okay, number 8. Would you rather color with a mix of mediums and brands or stick to one medium and one brand? I would probably say a mix of mediums and brands. So yeah, I mean, I have my favorites, like we all do. But I'm always up for trying new stuff, so yeah, that's kind of an easy one. Okay, let's see. Would you rather use a white gel pen or a white Posca pen? And definitely a white Posca pen. I don't know about you, but the white gel pens, I feel like they run out easy or the tip gets clogged. So I feel like the white Posca, I'm able to control the paint coming out a little bit better than the gel pens. Like the gel pens, it will like come out nicely and then all of a sudden it doesn't come out nicely and I'm shaking it. I'm, you know, trying to get the ink out and it works for a little bit and then it doesn't. And I don't know if it's the wax buildup maybe from color pencils, but yeah, it just sometimes doesn't always want to work right. Alright, sorry guys, I am not talking very much because I'm concentrating on staying in the lines here. So yeah, see what I mean? This color on here looks almost like a pink, like a dark pink, but it comes out as this dark like magenta color. So it reminds me of like Hershey syrup. Alright, and I'm just going to go around the edges. This is the 21, so it's my mid-tone shade. And I'm just going to go around the edge here. And just kind of help blend that together. All right, and then there's one, or actually there's a couple more frosting here. So, all right, so I guess I'll go ahead and do that real quick. All right, 97 for this highlight area. And then 1 for the majority of the fill-in here. All right, so let me answer another question. Number 10, would you rather color in the morning or color at night? I am definitely a morning person. So nighttime, I feel like I turn into a pumpkin. Right after dinner, I just want to not do anything. So, yeah, I would say definitely in the morning. And sometime soon, I will have to start coloring outside again. It's getting to the time of year where it is starting to cool off, which is awesome because we get kind of tired of the 115, 16 degree heat here in Arizona. So a nice change of weather. The fall is always one of my favorites because it does start getting, it's cool in the morning and then it is cool in the evening too. So perfect for sitting outside, eating dinner, and then also I love to color. The natural light for being outside and, you know, the birds chirping. It's just very peaceful and calming. Okay, let's see. Number 11, would you rather color a page using a YouTube tutorial or color a page using a tutorial from a book? So I don't have any of those books, like the special effects books. They're like on my wish list. So what I've been using for the last few years of coloring, and that's one of the reasons why I've been doing the YouTube videos, is because I'm influenced by all these colorists that, you know, show me how to do all these cool effects. So definitely YouTube videos. Okay, so next I'm going to do the cherries. And I'm going to use number 88, which is kind of a hot pink cherry. Number 10, which is a nice red. And then also one for a deep shadow. So I will start with 88 and just kind of fill that whole, I'm saying these are cherries, I don't know. I guess it could be dollops of whipped cream or something, but I'm going to say they're cherries. Then I'm going to take 10 and do just some half circles here, leaving the very tops that light color for a reflection. And then taking that really dark color and adding just a little bit of a deeper shadow. Okay, and then going back over with that one just to kind of blend that. And if it's still really wet, then it will blend good. All right. Okay, next question is number 12. Would you rather color food or glass? Well, since I have both food and glass here, I'm actually going to say food. I think there's more variety with the food. The glass makes me nervous because then I have to really think about the reflection of it and adding, you know, reflective colors and stuff, so that intimidates me. So I'm definitely going to say food. All right, so speaking of glass, I'm going to go ahead and color this. This is actually a Copic marker because the set of Ohuhu didn't have this really pale blue. So I only have like a couple of the Copic markers, and also very good because I don't use them all that much. I can't really tell a difference in how they perform. So the Ohuhus do just fine for me. Although I do like this brush tip on the Copic marker. This is Copic sketch marker and it is B000 pale porcelain blue. I feel like I haven't used it that much, and I feel like it's already kind of drying out, so maybe I've used it more than I thought. This one has the brush tip and a chisel tip, so although the brush tip, you know, I can get into little skinny areas, but I do prefer the like bullet tip on the other ones. So I almost wish they would make it with a brush tip and then a fine tip instead of the chisel tip. That's for all markers. All right, I'm going to go over all of this shape here. Hopefully my marker will make it. I guess I can use the chisel tip to see if that one has more ink. Oh yeah, okay. A little bit more ink on that side. All right, let me answer another question. This is number 13. Would you rather color a Jasmine Beckett Griffith book or a Jade Summers book? So I actually had to look these up too because I don't have either of those books. or the colorist, or sorry, the artist. And I think I prefer the Jasmine Beckett style over the Jade Summer. So when I was looking them up, I thought there were some cute ones that maybe I'll have to try and get a book sometime and play around with it. So again, this book is a different style for me also. All right, so I'm going to do some darker shadow areas, and this is back to the Ohuhu marker. This is 89. And I'm just going to do around the edges, leaving more of the center, the lighter blue. And I'm going to go around this little doily here, just to create that shadow. All right, and then back to filling in more of the edges. And then I'm going to do the bottom corners of this. And up around the edges. All right, before that dries, I'm just going to take my chisel tip again and try to blend that out just a little bit more. I don't want it too jaggedy. I just want to create some shadow effect there. And I hope I'm in, oh, I'm not even in screen. Oh my gosh, you guys. All right, here we go. Sorry about that. Holy cow, I'm so sorry. Okay, so I went ahead and what you couldn't see was I took my Copic marker and did all of the glass area. So just go ahead, fast forward through all of that part. And then I'm taking the 68 Ohuhu marker and I did some darkening around the edges, keeping the center more pale. And then I did like a shadow around the doily here. All right, and then I'm gonna do around the bottom edge. For a shadow. And same kind of thing. I'm just gonna create this shadow under here and around these edges, keeping the center more pale. All right, and then I'll take this Ohuhu marker again and just try to blend that out just so we don't have a really strong jagged line. Okay, I'm just going to create a little bit more of a shadow along here to kind of mimic that shape. All right, and for funsies, let's see what's happening on the other side of the page. I don't know why I always like to see what's going on back there. I always think it's pretty because it doesn't have the black lines, and it's like this little replica. All right, anyway, okay, let me answer another question and see if I can keep the picture in view. It's like I try to zoom in so you can see better, and then I end up like missing half of it. So sorry about that. Let's see. Okay, number 14. Would you rather color a color by number book or a mandala book? So again, I don't have very many mandala books, and I have no color by number. The closest thing to a color by number I have is this one called Lots of Dots. And there's no numbers, but there is definitely these little circles that indicate what color you're supposed to color them. So, which is a lot of fun, but I think I would probably choose to color a mandala over having to do that. All right, so let's see, make sure I'm in screen here. I think for this doily, I'm gonna do some polka dots. So I'm gonna do purple, 73, like this chartreuse green, 48, and orange, 23. So we'll incorporate some traditional Halloween colors, and I'm just gonna do polka dots. So this is where that fine tip or the bullet end would be more convenient to do these little polka dots. All right, next question. Would you rather use watercolors forever or use alcohol markers forever? So I'm gonna say watercolor markers. I feel a lot more confident with watercolor markers than I do alcohol markers. And also, it won't ruin your coloring books. I guess that's not true. I guess the watercolors can bleed through too, but just not as bad. So, you know, these books are nice because they are blank on one side, where a lot of my books, you know, like the Kirby Rosanes or Johanna Basford's books, they all have images on all the sides. So, you know, you're really restricted to not being able to use the alcohol markers. And you can use the watercolor ones, you just have to be really careful. All right, so there's my little polka dotted doily there. And let's see, let's work on the skull, I guess. So I'm going to use BG9 and BG5 for the eye sockets. So I'm going to start out with, let me make sure I'm in frame this time. Make sure I get all of them in here. All right, so I'm going to start out with my lightest one. I put this down and thought it was my darker one. So this is it's still a dark gray, but it's not as dark as the other one. So I'm just going to do right inside this socket here. And then I will take BG9 and again, just do kind of like this arch right inside so we have a little bit of highlight and shadow. All right, so I'll do that for all of them. All right, I'll finish these eyes up and then I'll get another question going. Okay, next question. Would you rather color a Christmas page in June or color an Easter page in December? So I love Christmas. I mean, my name is Noelle, so, you know, I just, you know, I have no problem with Christmas, you know, stuff or songs or anything, but I tend to like to keep Christmas in December. Like my grandma's birthday was December 1st, and that was always a tradition to put up our decorations and our Christmas tree on December 1st, you know, so like, and then starting, you know, Christmas shows and music. So I like to try to keep Christmas in December. With that being said, I did do a Christmas page in July, so Christmas in July, and it's fine, but I don't have a lot of, you know, Christmas books. I have a couple that would have some Christmas themes in it. So just for that, I think I have more options for coloring if I did the Easter. Not that I have Easter books, but you know, I'm just thinking of like rabbits and woodland creatures and flowers and things like that. I think I have more variety to color. So yeah, I'll say Easter page in December. All right, number 17. Would you rather color on Create Space paper or on tan toned paper? So I'm not sure if this type of paper is considered Create Space paper. I don't know if that's like Amazon books. Not that they're cheaper books, but just like a thinner paper. And then tan tone paper, I've seen like Dee Willingham do artwork on, I'm assuming it's like what you're saying tan tone paper is. So I'll probably say tan tone paper just because I think it's probably will hold up a little bit better. It's a little bit more versatile. Although you have, you know, white, which I actually kind of prefer coloring on white than I do like off-white paper. So, I'm not sure. I might be changing my mind here. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna go with, sorry, I'm gonna go with the Create Space paper. Yeah, okay. Next question, would you rather color with Prismacolor Premier pencils or Arteza pencils? So that's an easy one for me. I've been loving my Prismacolor pencils, and I don't have any Arteza color pencils. I feel like I have something of Arteza, but I don't know what it is that I got. Maybe it's some markers. Maybe I don't have it. Maybe I've just seen the ads for it. I don't know. Sorry, guys. I'm not sure. So definitely the Prismacolor pencils. Although I've heard good things about the Arteza. I just haven't had a chance to get those. Or I'm also wanting to try the Black Widow pencils. If you guys out there could give me a clue on, because I really like the creaminess of Prismacolor pencils. So if you like Prismacolor pencils and you have used other pencils that are similar, then let me know, because yeah, I really like the creaminess of the Prismacolor pencils. I think they blend just really nice. All right, let's get back to this picture. So I'm going to do the skulls. So I'm gonna do, let's see. This is WG1 and WG 0.5. So I'll start with my lightest one here. Again, inside this socket. And just kind of getting around the teeth. And creating shadows around the edges. All right, I'm kind of thinking that's for a highlight, so that is what I'm gonna keep there as a highlight. And this one you can see she's made the little line, so we can easily tell there's shadow there. And then this is just a little bit darker, so I'm gonna do, again, just adding more shadow here and going around some of this teeth and edges, just so we have a little bit more of a gradient of a shadow. All right, just blending a little bit more. All right, let me do this guy, and then I will answer some more questions. All right, next question. Would you rather color a background or color the main image first? Well, I know I did the background first on this one, but I usually will go ahead and start with the main object. When I teach our class, like drawing and coloring for kids, and that is what I always tell them, to always start with the main object first, work your way from the center going out. And that way, if they don't finish their page in class, at least they have the main object finished. So that's kind of where my philosophy comes from. Although I know in some cases it's good to do the background first, like this one. But for the most part, I think I usually stick to that philosophy of doing the main object first and then working towards the background. All right, so now I'm actually going to be using some color pencils. And I'm gonna start, actually I'm gonna do these little, I wasn't sure what this was. I want them to be kind of white and fluffy looking, so I'm going to use a Prismacolor pencil. This is 934, and I'm just going to highlight, or sorry, create a shadow here around here, so this purple makes for a nice shadow. Actually, that's kind of bright. Let's see. Let me find a different one. Okay. This is the one I want. Okay, so this is 1026. So it's a lot more pale. Again, I'm still wanting it to look white, so this just creates a nice shadow effect on white. And I'll get my colorless blender and just try to smooth that out a little bit more. On this paper, it was acting a little scratchy. All right, let me see. What's the next question? Okay, number 20. Would you rather use Neocolor 2s or Derwent Inktense? So I've had the Derwent Inktense for a couple years, and so I have more experience with that. I just got Neocolor 2s. I got a small set recently. So I'll probably say the Derwent Inktense. I was watching another Would You Rather, and the other person said the Neocolor 2 because she thought it might be more versatile. I'm just, the times that well, both of them. I think both of them have a big learning curve to them, but the Neocolor 2s, I felt like I need a little bit more help with those. So, okay, so there's that little fluffy stuff at the top. And I'm also going to incorporate some purples and some other like pinks and blues inside the glass. All right, so maybe I'll do this hot pink. This is 1038. And I'm just going to really lightly get in here. I want it to be like it's reflecting some of this background shades or anything else that would be in the room, these kind of bright colors. And I really have no like rhyme or reason. I'm just adding pigment in here. All right, and then taking a light blue, 1087. Same thing. And actually when you go over that pink, it almost creates like a purple color, which is really pretty. This is where I guess I could use that book on special effects and how to do like glass reflection and stuff, but well, that's okay. Sorry, my dog might be barky right now. All right, and I did it again. I'm so sorry. Oh my gosh, I'm really bad at this. All right, so let me just go over what I did again. So I just took some of these hot pinks and went into here and then went over it with this lighter blue. It kind of creates that purple shade, but it's just giving kind of a nice little reflection of other colors here in this glass. All right, so that's pretty much it. I'm gonna take, let's see, I'm gonna take a really light gray. Let's see if this is what I want. CG2. And I'm just gonna kind of go over around where this doily is, creating a shadow underneath that cake. Let me make sure I'm in focus here. I feel like I need to do this video all over again because you missed the cake plate. All right, just deepening this shadow, give it a little bit more depth here. And around the skull too. All right, so I am pretty much done. Let me zoom out here so we get the full scale here. And next I'm actually going to take this diamond glaze, and you can find this in your scrapbooking and stamping section at the craft store. And I'm just going to add a little bit into the cherries because I want them very like glossy, very shiny. And I'm getting a lot of air bubbles here. All right, and then I also want to create some shine in our glass plate. So this will dry kind of like a puffy paint. It'll dry nice and clear and glossy. So some of these big highlighted areas. All right, let's see. Next question. Would you rather rip a page out of a book that has gone wrong or preserve and rescue the page? I would feel guilty for ripping it out, so would probably just leave it in there and try to rescue it. Believe me, I've made many mistakes before, so I've had to do a lot of rescuing. All right, let's see. Would you rather color in a hardback book or a softback book? I'm going to say a softback book. And then the bonus question is, who is your favorite artist? So I'm not sure if you meant like artist or like color book artist. So I'm going to give you both. So my favorite artist, I actually have two, and I have two pictures, paintings in my house of these artists. Obviously replicas, not original artwork. One is Van Gogh, and it is the Cafe Terrace at Night, one of my favorites from him. And then a Grant Wood. I really like his style. So I painted my dogs in the American Gothic style. And then I have Midnight Ride of Paul Revere. And I forgot I was going to do White Posca first in this, but that's all right. It may not need it with this. So this is just Stickles glitter glue. It's more of the iridescent one, so I'm putting it right over my spider web. All right, I'm gonna zoom in. Hopefully I can keep it in frame here. All right, and then, so my favorite coloring artist, oh gosh, okay, I'm gonna give you three because I can't just pick one. So Johanna Basford, one, just because she's like the first coloring books that I got from her, and then was kind of like, I don't need any other coloring books, and then saw Kirby Rosanes books and what people were doing in there, and decided, oh yes, I want some of his books. And then next, I just really love her little characters. Rita Berman, I think I really like her style too. So that's kind of bonus answers. All right, there you go. I think this turned out really pretty. I'm so sorry that I had you guys missed almost half of it, or at least the glass plate. So, but there you go. You got me talking, and now you can see the final page. So let me hold this up so you guys can see some of that. Hopefully the light is picking it up. Definitely picking up the glitter. I don't know, can you see the shine in the cherries? And then in the glass, I guess you can a little bit. So again, that will dry, you know, kind of like a puffy paint and be really glossy. So there you go. there's my Halloween picture and would you rather tag. I'm not going to tag anyone individually, but if you haven't done this tag yet, please do it. Check out Kirsty Color and Sketch and all the people that she's tagged. And happy coloring in October. Bye guys.